A lack of friends indicates that a person has many. Stoic philosophy. Be content to see what you really are. Marcus Aurelius. In a world that glorifies large social circles and constant interaction, it's easy to feel that having few friends, or even none, signals failure. But Stoicism offers a radically different perspective. It teaches us to look beyond superficial connections and recognize that the absence of friends doesn't necessarily mean loneliness or inadequacy. Instead, it might reveal an abundance of virtues like self-reliance, clarity of purpose, and a life guided by values rather than external validation. The great Stoic thinkers knew that true strength comes not from how many people surround you, but from the quality of your character and the serenity you can cultivate within. Marcus Aurelius himself lived among crowds, yet often retreated into his soul, reminding us, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Solitude, then, isn't a deficiency. It's an opportunity to discover peace, focus on what truly matters, and build a life aligned with purpose. In this video, we'll explore why a lack of friends might actually indicate an abundance of courage to walk your own path, wisdom to discern meaningful relationships from shallow ones, and discipline to focus on your own growth. Together, we'll uncover how Stoicism empowers us to see solitude not as a void, but as a space filled with the riches of self-knowledge and inner peace. Here comes the practical tips for balancing solitude and friendship. Number 1. Know yourself. Knowing yourself is more than a casual reflection on your likes and dislikes. It's a deep and honest exploration of your character, values, and priorities. It means confronting your flaws with courage, recognizing your strengths with humility, and aligning your actions with your principles. As Epictetus wisely stated, first, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This self-awareness is the foundation of a life lived with intention and clarity. In modern life, where distractions are abundant and societal pressures push us to conform, taking time to understand who you are allows you to resist the pull of shallow relationships and unnecessary drama. Instead, you learn to cultivate peace and focus on the things that truly matter. Without self-knowledge, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation through others. Many friendships are born not out of genuine connection, but from a fear of being alone. This leads to a life cluttered with relationships that drain your energy and offer little in return. But when you know yourself, you're no longer dependent on the approval or presence of others to feel whole. As the Stoics teach, you find fulfillment within, and this inner strength naturally attracts meaningful connections rather than forcing you to chase after them. In the absence of friends, you also have a rare gift, the time and space to work on yourself. Solitude is a teacher, offering lessons that can't be learned in the noise of constant socializing. Marcus Aurelius often retreated into his mind to find clarity, writing, "People look for retreats for themselves in the country by the coast or in the hills, but there is nowhere that a person can find a more peaceful retreat than in his own mind." By embracing solitude, you create room for self-reflection and growth. This might mean taking up journaling to untangle your thoughts, meditating to quiet your mind, or simply sitting in silence to connect with your deeper self. Each of these practices strengthens your ability to face life with composure and resilience, qualities that Stoicism prizes. Modern life often equates a lack of friends with loneliness, but this perspective ignores the value of solitude in fostering independence and creativity. History is filled with individuals who use their time alone to achieve greatness. Think of Henry David Thoreau, who retreated to the woods to write Walden, or Nikola Tesla, who developed groundbreaking ideas in his solitary moments. These figures weren't avoiding people. They were cultivating their potential. Similarly, in your own life, time spent alone can spark insights and ideas that transform not only your world, but also the lives of those around you. Solitude isn't about isolation. It's about creating a space where you can thrive without distraction. Moreover, when you know yourself, you're better equipped to navigate the relationships you do have. You become more discerning, understanding who adds value to your life and who detracts from it. The Stoics remind us that not every connection is worth maintaining. Seneca, for instance, observed, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This doesn't mean cutting everyone off, but rather being intentional about the energy you surround yourself with. A lack of friends doesn't imply a lack of social skills. It often means you've chosen quality over quantity, a principle that resonates deeply with Stoic teachings. In today's world, where social media often pressures us to appear popular or well-connected, this mindset can be revolutionary. Instead of chasing superficial relationships, focus on building a life that aligns with your values. The respect and admiration you earn from others will come not from the number of people you know, but from the depth of your character. This is the true power of self-awareness. It allows you to live authentically and attract relationships that reflect your worth. As you reflect on this, remember that Stoicism isn't about withdrawing from society entirely. It's about engaging with it wisely. Solitude is a tool, not a destination. Use it to strengthen your mind and clarify your purpose, so that when you do connect with others, those relationships are meaningful and enriching. Knowing yourself is more than a casual reflection on your likes and dislikes. It's a deep and honest exploration of your character, values, and priorities. It means confronting your flaws with courage, recognizing your strengths with humility, and aligning your actions with your principles. As Epictetus wisely stated, "First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This self-awareness is the foundation of a life lived with intention and clarity. In modern life, where distractions are abundant and societal pressures push us to conform, taking time to understand who you are allows you to resist the pull of shallow really. By knowing yourself, you become unshakable, no longer swayed by the opinions or expectations of others. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, living in harmony with your nature and finding fulfillment within. A lack of friends can indeed indicate that a person has many strengths, many opportunities for growth, and many moments of peace that others rarely experience. So, the next time you find yourself alone, don't see it as a void. Instead, see it as a space filled with the potential to become the best version of yourself. As you walk this path, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Let your solitude enrich you, not diminish you, and let your self-knowledge be the foundation of a life well lived. Number 2. Practice mindfulness. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Practicing mindfulness is the second pillar of embracing the deeper wisdom behind solitude and a lack of friends. Mindfulness isn't just a trendy concept. It's the ancient art of being present in the moment, fully aware of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings. It's about quieting the mental noise that often leads us to seek unnecessary validation from others. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how often do you truly live in the now? So many of us spend our lives either replaying regrets from the past or worrying about the uncertainties of the future. This habit robs us of the richness of the present moment, leaving us anxious and unfulfilled. By practicing mindfulness, you take back control of your mind and, in doing so, unlock a sense of peace and clarity that makes external relationships less of a crutch and more of an enhancement. Mindfulness aligns perfectly with Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus on what is within our control and let go of what is not. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to live in the present moment, urging, "Confine yourself to the present." This piece of wisdom is not just theoretical. It's a guide for how to navigate the chaos of modern life. Consider this. When you're mindful, you're not worrying about who's in your social circle or comparing your life to someone else's. Instead, you're appreciating the small but significant details of your own life. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the satisfaction of finishing a task, the joy of a quiet evening spent reading. These moments become sources of genuine contentment, and you begin to realize that happiness isn't found in the number of people you know, but in the depth of your connection to the present. A powerful story about mindfulness in modern life comes from a well-known CEO who, despite leading a busy company, dedicates 20 minutes every morning to meditation. During these moments, he silences the external world to focus on his breath, calming his thoughts before facing the demands of the day. His employees often remark on his extraordinary ability to remain composed under pressure, and he credits this entirely to his mindfulness practice. This shows that even in the hustle and bustle of life, being present can dramatically enhance not only your sense of peace, but also your ability to make better decisions and engage with others more meaningfully. Imagine what could change in your life if you gave yourself the same gift of undistracted presence. When you practice mindfulness, you also develop the ability to detach from external validation. So many friendships are rooted in seeking approval or escaping loneliness, but mindfulness teaches you to be content within yourself first. Think about this. How much of your daily stress stems from trying to impress others or meet their expectations? Mindfulness allows you to pause and ask yourself, am I doing this for me, or am I doing it to be accepted by others? When you find clarity in your intentions, you stop chasing superficial relationships and start valuing authentic ones, or even the peace of being on your own. In essence, you become a person who no longer needs external distractions to feel whole. But mindfulness isn't just about sitting quietly. It's about bringing awareness into every aspect of your life. For instance, when you're eating, are you savoring each bite, or are you scrolling through your phone? When you're walking, are you noticing the rhythm of your steps and the world around you, or are you lost in thoughts of what's next? These seemingly small shifts in awareness can have a profound impact on how you experience life. When you're present, even mundane tasks become opportunities for gratitude and growth. And as you cultivate this awareness, you'll notice that your relationships, both with yourself and others, begin to transform. You'll start seeing people for who they are, not who you want them to be, and this clarity will naturally guide you toward more meaningful connections. Mindfulness also helps you manage the inevitable emotions that come with solitude. It's normal to feel lonely at times, but rather than running from this feeling, mindfulness encourages you to sit with it, observe it, and learn from it. Loneliness, when approached mindfully, can teach you about your unmet needs and guide you toward fulfilling them in ways that align with your values. Instead of filling the void with empty interactions, you begin to understand what truly nourishes your soul. This emotional intelligence is a hallmark of Stoic philosophy. As Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mindfulness is the tool that helps you become that master. So how can you bring more mindfulness into your life today? Start small. Dedicate 5 minutes to deep, intentional breathing, focusing solely on the air entering and leaving your body. Notice the sensations, the rhythm, and the calm it brings. As you go about your day, pick one activity, whether it's drinking coffee, walking, or even washing dishes, and do it with full attention. Gradually, this practice will expand into other areas of your life, and you'll find yourself more grounded, more aware, and more at peace. Over time, you'll realize that the lack of friends isn't something to fix. It's an opportunity to deepen your connection to the present moment and, ultimately, to yourself. Practicing mindfulness isn't just a tool for self-improvement. It's a way to unlock the richness of life that often goes unnoticed. By living in the now, you gain clarity, composure, and a sense of fulfillment that transcends the need for external validation. Mindfulness allows you to embrace solitude as a gift rather than a burden, helping you to focus on what truly matters and live with purpose. As you practice mindfulness, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. With this strength, you'll discover that even in the absence of friends, your life can be full, meaningful, and truly your own. Number 3. Focus on quality. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. Seneca. Focusing on quality over quantity is not just about relationships, it's a philosophy that touches every aspect of life. Yet when it comes to friendships, many people fall into the trap of believing that more is better. How often do you see someone boasting about their hundreds of social media friends or connections, only to feel empty and unsupported when they face real challenges? Stoic philosophy challenges us to rethink this approach, urging us to value depth over breadth and to seek relationships that truly nurture our growth. Ask yourself this: would you rather have 100 acquaintances who barely know you, or a handful of friends who deeply understand and support you? The answer reveals the essence of Stoicism. Quality relationships foster resilience, clarity, and purpose, while superficial ones can often leave us drained and distracted. When you focus on quality, you give yourself permission to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. Think about how much energy we often pour into maintaining connections out of obligation, fear of being alone, or societal pressure. The Stoics remind us that true friendship is a rare and precious thing. As Seneca wisely noted, one of the most beautiful qualities of true friendship is to understand and to be understood. This means that a quality friendship is built on mutual respect, trust, and a shared commitment to growth. Superficial relationships, by contrast, often prioritize convenience or fleeting pleasures over these deeper connections. Have you ever stopped to consider how much lighter your life might feel if you surrounded yourself only with those who uplift you? By focusing on quality, you make space for relationships that align with your values and enrich your life. In modern life, the idea of focusing on quality can feel countercultural. Social media constantly pressures us to expand our networks, chase followers, and measure our worth in likes and comments. But Stoicism teaches us to resist this urge for validation. Marcus Aurelius himself wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." When you focus on quality, you begin to care less about impressing others and more about nurturing what truly matters. This shift in perspective can be liberating. Imagine no longer feeling the need to say yes to every invitation or every friend request, instead investing your time and energy into the few relationships that bring genuine joy and support. Doesn't that sound like a more fulfilling way to live? Focusing on quality also means learning to identify the people who bring out the best in you. Not everyone deserves a place in your inner circle. Stoic philosophy encourages us to be discerning, not judgmental. Think about your current relationships. Who makes you feel valued and supported, and who leaves you feeling drained or inadequate? This isn't about cutting people off impulsively, but about being intentional with your time and energy. After all, time is one of the most valuable resources we have, and wasting it on superficial relationships only detracts from your ability to cultivate meaningful ones. Epictetus reminds us, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. What steps can you take today to surround yourself with those who inspire you to grow? When you focus on quality, you also build stronger, more authentic connections. Think of the great friendships in history, like that of Marcus Aurelius and his mentor Rusticus, who guided him on his path to wisdom. These relationships weren't built on frequent gatherings or superficial exchanges, but on a shared commitment to virtue and growth. You can create the same in your own life by prioritizing meaningful conversations over small talk, being present when you're with others, and showing genuine interest in their well-being. This kind of connection requires effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. Imagine the peace and joy of knowing that the people in your life truly see and support you. Isn't that worth more than the fleeting gratification of having a long list of acquaintances? Quality also applies to how you show up in relationships. Are you bringing your best self to the people who matter most? The Stoics believed that true friendship involves mutual betterment, a concept that still resonates today. When you focus on quality, you commit to being a source of positivity, wisdom, and kindness in the lives of those you care about. This might mean offering a listening ear, sharing a thoughtful piece of advice, or simply being present in moments of need. As you strive to bring this level of care to your relationships, you'll find that your friendships naturally deepen, creating a ripple effect of trust and understanding. Finally, focusing on quality extends beyond friendships. It's a mindset that can transform your approach to life. Whether it's the work you do, the hobbies you pursue, or the goals you set, embracing quality over quantity leads to greater satisfaction and a sense of purpose. When you focus on doing a few things well instead of spreading yourself thin, you align your actions with your values and create a life that feels both meaningful and manageable. The Stoics understood this well, emphasizing the importance of deliberate action. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." How would your life change if you applied this principle to everything you do? Focusing on quality is not just a strategy for building better relationships, it's a way of life. By being intentional about who you surround yourself with and how you spend your time, you create space for growth, fulfillment, and peace. Remember, the goal isn't to have as many friends as possible, but to cultivate connections that bring out the best in you. As you embrace this mindset, you'll find that the absence of many friends often indicates the presence of something far greater: authenticity, wisdom, and the courage to live life on your terms. So take a moment to reflect on your relationships and ask yourself, am I focusing on quality? The answer might just change your life. Number 4, appreciate solitude. Appreciating solitude is one of the most powerful lessons Stoic philosophy can teach us in a world that often values busyness and constant social interaction. Solitude is not loneliness. It is a gift, a sacred space where you can connect with yourself, reflect deeply, and grow as an individual. Yet, how often do we run from solitude, filling our days with noise, distractions, and superficial relationships to avoid being alone? This aversion to solitude is not just a missed opportunity, it's a barrier to self-awareness and inner peace. As the Stoics believed, the moments spent alone are the ones where we can truly understand ourselves and align our lives with our values. Have you ever paused to consider how solitude can be the foundation for a life of clarity, strength, and purpose? To appreciate solitude, you first need to redefine what it means to be alone. Society often equates solitude with failure, imagining that being alone signals a lack of connections or worth. But the Stoics saw it differently. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of the importance of retreating into the mind, where peace could always be found. He wrote, "People look for retreats for themselves in the country, by the coast, or in the hills. But there is nowhere that a person can find a more peaceful retreat than in his own mind." Solitude is not an absence. It's a presence, a chance to reconnect with your thoughts, realign with your priorities, and detach from the external noise that often clouds judgment. In solitude, you find freedom. Free from societal expectations, you can ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Who am I when no one else is watching? Modern life, with its constant connectivity, makes appreciating solitude more important than ever. Every day we are bombarded with notifications, calls, and the pressure to be available 24/7. This constant demand for attention leaves little room for introspection or personal growth. Solitude provides a necessary counterbalance, a time to switch off from the external world and tune into your inner self. Consider the example of Bill Gates, who famously dedicates weeks every year to think time, during which he isolates himself to read, reflect, and strategize. This practice has been credited with some of his most innovative ideas. What could you achieve if you allowed yourself even a fraction of this dedicated solitude? By embracing time alone, you give yourself permission to think deeply, innovate, and connect with your true self. Solitude also helps you build resilience. When you learn to be content in your own company, you stop depending on others to fill emotional voids. This self-reliance is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, which teaches that true happiness comes from within. not from external circumstances. Seneca captured this sentiment perfectly when he said, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he is not." When you appreciate solitude, you realize that your worth isn't tied to how many friends you have or how busy your social calendar is. Instead, you find value in your own thoughts, your own growth, and your own journey. Furthermore, solitude offers an opportunity for profound self-reflection. It's in these quiet moments that you can evaluate your life, identify areas for improvement, and set meaningful goals. Without the distractions of social obligations, you can ask yourself tough but necessary questions. Am I living according to my values? Are my actions aligned with my priorities? What legacy do I want to leave behind? Journaling, meditating, or even taking a walk alone in nature can help you explore these questions and find clarity. The Stoics believed that self-examination was key to a virtuous life. Epictetus advised, "Examine yourself. Never relax your efforts to improve your self-mastery." Solitude gives you the space to conduct this examination, turning your attention inward to uncover truths that are often obscured by the chaos of daily life. Appreciating solitude also means recognizing its role in fostering creativity. Many of history's greatest thinkers, artists, and innovators found inspiration in moments of solitude. Leonardo da Vinci, for example, cherished his time alone, using it to explore ideas that would eventually change the world. Even today, many successful people attribute their breakthroughs to quiet, uninterrupted time to think. Solitude allows the mind to wander freely, unhindered by the constraints of conversation or the need to meet others' expectations. In these moments, you might uncover new perspectives, solve lingering problems, or simply find joy in creative expression. How often do you give yourself this kind of mental freedom? Could embracing solitude unlock your next great idea? Finally, solitude is a form of self-care. In a world that constantly demands your attention, stepping back and spending time alone is an act of self-preservation. It's a way to recharge, to protect your energy, and to focus on what truly matters. By carving out time for yourself, you're not being selfish, you're being wise. You're ensuring that when you do engage with others, you do so from a place of strength and clarity, not exhaustion or obligation. As you grow more comfortable with solitude, you'll find that it enhances your relationships, your work, and your overall sense of well-being. Appreciating solitude is about more than just being alone. It's about embracing the power and potential that come with it. It's a chance to reconnect with yourself, to reflect on your values, and to find peace in a world that often feels chaotic. As the Stoics remind us, solitude isn't something to fear, it's something to celebrate. When you learn to appreciate solitude, you discover that a lack of friends doesn't mean a lack of value. Instead, it can indicate an abundance of wisdom, strength, and self-awareness. So, the next time you find yourself alone, resist the urge to fill the silence. Instead, lean into it. What might you discover in the stillness? What might solitude teach you about yourself? As Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. In solitude, you can find that strength, and so much more. Thank you for being here with us today. Your presence in this community means so much, and I'd love to hear from you. Whether it's your story, personal reflections, or simply saying hello, every comment adds value to our journey together. If you're new to our channel, feel free to comment, "I am a newbie," or if you've been with us for a while, let us know with "I am Stoic." Your engagement is not just appreciated, it's what keeps us inspired to bring more meaningful content to you. Now let's move forward and continue growing together, shall we? Number 5. Find like-minded individuals. Finding like-minded individuals is one of the most rewarding pursuits in life, yet it requires patience, self-awareness, and discernment. In a world that often values quantity over quality, It's easy to surround yourself with people who don't align with your values or aspirations. But Stoic philosophy reminds us that meaningful relationships are built on shared principles, mutual respect, and a common pursuit of virtue. Have you ever thought about how much your environment influences your growth? The people you choose to keep close can either elevate you to your highest potential or pull you away from it. Finding like-minded individuals isn't about forming an echo chamber where everyone agrees, but rather about building connections with those who challenge you to grow while respecting the values you hold dear. When you actively seek like-minded individuals, you're aligning yourself with people who understand your journey and inspire you to stay true to your path. This doesn't mean these relationships will always be easy or devoid of disagreements, but the foundation of shared values ensures that even conflicts become opportunities for growth. Think about a time when you had a deep, meaningful conversation with someone who truly understood your perspective. How did it make you feel? Energized? Understood? That's the power of connecting with like-minded individuals. They remind you that you're not alone in your pursuit of a purposeful life. In contrast, superficial relationships can leave you feeling drained and disconnected, as they often lack the depth needed to sustain mutual growth. This is why the Stoics emphasized quality over quantity, urging us to seek relationships that enrich our lives rather than clutter them. A modern story of finding like-minded individuals comes from the world of entrepreneurship. Consider Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, two men with vastly different personalities but a shared vision of innovation. Their partnership was rooted in mutual respect and a common goal, leading to the creation of Apple and a revolution in technology. Jobs' relentless drive and Wozniak's technical genius complemented each other, proving that like-minded individuals don't have to be identical. They just need to share a common purpose. In your own life, who could you collaborate with to create something greater than yourself? Who inspires you to think bigger and push beyond your comfort zone? These are the people worth investing in, the ones who will walk beside you on your journey of growth. Finding like-minded individuals also requires courage and a willingness to let go of relationships that no longer serve you. This can be one of the hardest lessons in life, but it's essential for creating space for the right people to enter. Seneca wisely said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." By clinging to unfulfilling relationships, you rob yourself of the opportunity to connect with those who truly resonate with your values. Reflect on the people in your life. Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? This isn't about judging others harshly. It's about being honest with yourself and prioritizing relationships that bring out the best in you. One of the most effective ways to find like-minded individuals is to live authentically. When you embrace who you are and act in alignment with your values, you naturally attract people who share your outlook on life. Think about it. When you're true to yourself, you create an environment where genuine connections can flourish. On the other hand, trying to fit into a mold that doesn't align with your values only attracts relationships built on pretense. Marcus Aurelius captured this idea when he wrote, "Be content to seem what you really are." Authenticity isn't just about being honest with others. It's about being honest with yourself, and this honesty becomes a magnet for like-minded individuals who appreciate you for who you truly are. Another key to finding like-minded individuals is to put yourself in environments that reflect your interests and values. Whether it's joining a book club, attending a seminar, or volunteering for a cause you're passionate about, these spaces provide opportunities to connect with people who share your passions. In today's digital age, online communities can also serve as powerful platforms for finding your tribe. However, it's important to approach these spaces with intention and discernment, ensuring that they align with your goals and values. How can you create or join a community that reflects the life you want to build? By being proactive and intentional, you increase your chances of finding relationships that truly enrich your journey. Finding like-minded individuals is a journey of self-discovery, authenticity, and intentionality. It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to grow, challenge your perspectives, and share your commitment to living a meaningful life. As you seek these connections, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. By aligning yourself with like-minded individuals, you not only enrich your own life but also create a ripple effect that inspires those around you. So, who in your life helps you become the best version of yourself? And what steps can you take today to find more of these connections? The answers may lead you to some of the most fulfilling relationships of your life. Number 6. Stay open. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Marcus Aurelius. Staying open is one of the most challenging yet rewarding principles in life, especially when we're navigating a world that often demands we put up walls for protection. Stoic philosophy teaches us that while discernment is vital, openness is the path to growth, connection, and understanding. Have you ever found yourself shutting others out because of past betrayals, disappointments, or fears of vulnerability? While it's natural to want to shield yourself, staying open allows you to experience life in its fullness and build connections that matter. It's not about blindly trusting everyone you meet or ignoring the lessons of experience. Instead, it's about embracing life with a mindset of curiosity and a willingness to learn from others, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. When you stay open, you invite opportunities for meaningful relationships and personal growth. Stoicism reminds us to engage with the world rather than retreat from it. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." This wisdom encourages us to view each interaction, whether positive or negative, as a chance to learn, evolve, and strengthen our character. Think about the times in your life when you hesitated to let someone in, only to later realize that their perspective or presence enriched your journey. Staying open doesn't mean ignoring the risks of vulnerability. It means recognizing that the potential rewards, deep understanding, shared growth, and authentic connection, often outweigh those risks. In modern life, staying open can feel counterintuitive, especially when society often celebrates self-reliance and independence as ultimate virtues. But openness doesn't mean weakness. It reflects strength, confidence, and a commitment to truth. By staying open, you're not giving others control over your emotions or decisions. You're giving yourself the freedom to connect with people and ideas that align with your values. Think about it this way. If you close yourself off from others, how can you grow? How can you experience the diversity of perspectives, ideas, and experiences that make life richer? Every person you meet has something to teach you, even if it's simply patience, understanding, or resilience. Staying open also fosters empathy, which is essential for building meaningful relationships. When you allow yourself to see the world through someone else's eyes, you begin to understand their struggles, motivations, and dreams. Seneca once said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Openness allows you to practice this kindness, not as an obligation, but as a natural extension of your character. Have you ever felt the power of simply listening to someone without judgment? Staying open to their thoughts and emotions not only strengthens your bond, but also enriches your own understanding of the human experience. Openness also requires a degree of humility, a willingness to admit that you don't have all the answers. Stoicism encourages us to embrace this mindset, reminding us that the pursuit of wisdom is a lifelong journey. Epictetus advised, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." By staying open, you acknowledge that every interaction, whether with a stranger or a close friend, holds the potential to teach you something new. Think about how much of your life has been shaped by the insights of others, insights you might have missed if you weren't open to listening or learning. How can you adopt this mindset in your daily life? What might change if you approached each conversation, experience, or challenge with curiosity instead of certainty? In addition to personal growth, staying open can lead to unexpected opportunities. Many of life's most rewarding moments arise from the willingness to say yes to something new. Whether it's a career shift, a new friendship, or an unfamiliar hobby, openness allows you to step out of your comfort zone and explore possibilities you might not have considered otherwise. For example, think about a time when you said yes to something that initially scared or intimidated you. Maybe it was joining a group, traveling alone, or starting a conversation with a stranger. How did that decision shape your life? By staying open, you give yourself permission to embrace uncertainty and discover paths that might lead to greater fulfillment. However, staying open doesn't mean disregarding your boundaries or compromising your values. Stoicism teaches us to balance openness with discernment, ensuring that our actions align with our principles. As Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This balance allows you to engage with others authentically while protecting your integrity. Staying open isn't about pleasing everyone or avoiding conflict. It's about approaching life with an open mind and a grounded sense of self. Staying open is a practice that requires courage, humility, and a commitment to growth. It challenges you to let go of fear and embrace life's uncertainties, knowing that each interaction and experience holds the potential for insight and connection. By staying open, you not only build meaningful relationships, but also deepen your understanding of yourself and the world around you. As you move forward, consider the words of Marcus Aurelius: "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." This advice reminds us that staying open isn't about clinging to outcomes. It's about embracing the journey, learning from every step, and trusting that openness will guide you toward a richer, more meaningful life. So what might happen if you approach today with an open heart and an open mind? The possibilities are endless, and the rewards are waiting. Number 7. Set boundaries. He who does not set boundaries for himself is like a ship without a rudder, drifting aimlessly in the sea. Seneca. Setting boundaries is one of the most crucial skills a person can develop, yet it's often misunderstood or overlooked. In a society that glorifies busyness and the constant need to please others, boundaries can feel selfish or even confrontational. But Stoic philosophy reminds us that boundaries are not walls meant to keep others out. They are bridges that guide others on how to interact with us while preserving our inner peace and focus. Have you ever felt overwhelmed because you said yes to something you didn't want to do, simply to avoid disappointing someone? Or have you allowed people to overstep your limits because you were afraid of conflict? Setting boundaries isn't about rejecting people or being rigid. It's about valuing your time, energy, and priorities enough to protect them while still engaging with the world meaningfully. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius understood the importance of maintaining control over one's life by focusing on what is within our power. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Boundaries are the tool that allow you to exercise this power effectively. Without them, you risk being consumed by the demands and expectations of others, leaving little room for your own growth and well-being. Think about it. How much of your stress comes from overcommitting or failing to enforce your limits? By setting clear boundaries, you not only protect your mental and emotional health but also create space to focus on what truly matters. And when you do this, you gain the clarity and strength to live a life aligned with your values. In modern life, where emails, phone calls, and social media notifications blur the lines between work and personal time, boundaries are more essential than ever. Consider the story of a successful entrepreneur who once worked 80-hour weeks, constantly responding to demands from clients, employees, and even friends. His health suffered, his family felt neglected, and he was on the verge of burnout. It wasn't until he started setting boundaries, turning off his phone during family dinners, limiting his work hours, and saying no to unnecessary meetings, that he regained control of his life. Not only did his well-being improve, but his work became more focused and effective. What areas of your life could benefit from similar changes? Are there places where you're giving too much of yourself? And what would happen if you reclaimed that energy? Boundaries are also vital for maintaining healthy relationships. Seneca wisely said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve." Relationships without boundaries often lead to resentment, as one person's needs consistently overshadow the others. By setting boundaries, you communicate your expectations and needs clearly, allowing others to respect you while fostering mutual growth. For example, if a friend constantly interrupts your work with non-urgent requests, setting a boundary might mean explaining that you're unavailable during certain hours but happy to catch up afterward. This isn't about shutting people out. It's about ensuring that your interactions are respectful and balanced. When was the last time you clearly expressed your limits to someone, and how did it change the dynamic of that relationship? Setting boundaries doesn't just apply to how others treat you. It also applies to how you treat yourself. Self-discipline is a form of boundary setting, guiding you to prioritize long-term goals over short-term distractions. Marcus Aurelius encouraged this practice, writing, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." By setting boundaries around your habits, limiting time spent on social media, committing to regular exercise, or scheduling moments of solitude, you create a structure that supports your growth and well-being. These self-imposed boundaries are often the hardest to maintain but the most rewarding in the long run. How might your life change if you treated your personal goals with the same respect and commitment that you give to others' expectations? However, setting boundaries is not always easy, especially when it involves saying no to people you care about. It can feel uncomfortable or even selfish, but remember, every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you're saying no to something that does. Stoic philosophy encourages us to act with intention and integrity, ensuring that our decisions reflect our values. Epictetus put it simply, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you set boundaries, you're not rejecting others. You're choosing to react to life's demands in a way that protects your peace and purpose. In addition to protecting your energy, boundaries also teach others how to treat you. People will often test your limits, sometimes unintentionally, to see what you'll tolerate. By consistently enforcing your boundaries, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated. This not only earns you respect, but also attracts people who value and honor your limits. On the flip side, those who resist or disregard your boundaries reveal themselves as individuals who may not belong in your life. This clarity is a gift, helping you focus on relationships that are mutually enriching rather than draining. Ultimately, setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and self-care. It's a way of saying, "I value myself and my time enough to protect them." As you practice this, you'll find that boundaries don't isolate you. They empower you to engage with others from a place of strength and authenticity. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This wisdom applies to every choice you make, including the boundaries you set. So, take a moment to reflect. Where in your life do you need stronger boundaries, and what steps can you take to establish them today? By doing so, you'll not only reclaim your time and energy, but also create a life that is more focused, intentional, and aligned with your highest values. If you've made it this far, you're embracing the strength of solitude and the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Drop a comment saying, "I value growth," to show your commitment to deepening your journey of self-discovery. Stay with us. There's so much more insight ahead. Number 8. Evaluate relationships. Evaluating relationships is one of the most vital steps to building a meaningful and balanced life, yet it's something many people overlook. In a world where we are often encouraged to collect as many connections as possible, the idea of assessing our relationships can seem counterintuitive. But Stoic philosophy reminds us that it's not the number of friends we have that matters, it's the quality of those friendships. Have you ever paused to consider the relationships in your life? Are they uplifting or do they drain your energy? Evaluating relationships doesn't mean judging people harshly or cutting ties without thought. It's about ensuring that the connections you maintain align with your values and contribute positively to your growth and well-being. It's about understanding that true friendships are based on mutual respect, trust, and the shared pursuit of virtue. When you evaluate your relationships, you begin to notice patterns that might otherwise go unchecked. Some connections may inspire you, encourage your ambitions, and provide comfort during challenging times. Others, however, may consistently create stress, foster negativity, or demand more from you than they give. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This applies to relationships as well, because the people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your mindset and emotions. Are you surrounding yourself with people who add value to your life, or are you holding on to relationships out of habit, fear, or obligation? Evaluating your relationships allows you to answer this question honestly and make decisions that honor your peace of mind. In modern life, the need to evaluate relationships is more relevant than ever. Social media has made it easy to stay connected with hundreds or even thousands of people, but how many of those connections truly matter? Consider the story of a man who once prided himself on his large social circle, but found himself feeling lonely and unsupported during a personal crisis. It wasn't until he took a closer look at his relationships that he realized most of them were surface level, built on convenience rather than genuine care. He decided to focus his energy on a smaller group of people who shared his values and offered mutual support. Over time, he found greater happiness and fulfillment, not because he had more friends, but because he had better ones. What would happen if you did the same? How much lighter would your life feel if you let go of relationships that no longer served you? Evaluating relationships also requires courage, as it often means confronting uncomfortable truths. There may be people in your life who, despite their closeness, consistently bring negativity or chaos. While it can be difficult to acknowledge these dynamics, the Stoics teach us that avoiding discomfort only prolongs suffering. Seneca advised, "Time discovers truth." By taking the time to reflect on your relationships, you uncover the truths that might otherwise remain hidden, allowing you to make decisions that protect your energy and well-being. This doesn't mean cutting people off abruptly or with hostility. It means having honest conversations, setting boundaries, and being intentional about the energy you allow into your life. At the same time, evaluating relationships isn't just about identifying the negative, it's also about celebrating the positive. Who in your life consistently uplifts you? Who challenges you to be better and supports you when you falter? These are the relationships worth nurturing and investing in. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to be tolerant with others and strict with yourself, emphasizing the importance of empathy and understanding. When you evaluate your relationships, you can also reflect on how you contribute to them. Are you showing up as the kind of friend, partner, or family member you want others to be for you? Healthy relationships are built on reciprocity, and evaluating your role in them is just as important as assessing the actions of others. In addition to fostering healthier relationships, evaluating connections can also deepen your sense of self-awareness. When you examine why certain relationships thrive while others falter, you gain insights into your own needs, values, and patterns of behavior. For example, you might realize that you value honesty above all else, and that relationships built on pretense or half-truths drain your energy. Or you might discover that you've been prioritizing relationships out of obligation rather than genuine connection. What would change if you aligned your relationships with your core values? This kind of clarity can transform not only your relationships but also your sense of purpose and direction in life. However, it's important to approach the process of evaluating relationships with kindness and humility. Everyone is imperfect, and relationships are often messy and complex. The goal isn't to seek perfection or to hold others to impossibly high standards. It's to ensure that the connections you maintain are rooted in mutual respect and shared growth. By doing this, you create an environment where both you and those around you can thrive. And when you approach relationships with this level of intentionality, you naturally attract people who align with your values, making the process of evaluation an ongoing, enriching practice rather than a one-time task. Evaluating relationships is not an act of judgment, but an act of self-care and intentional living. It's a practice that allows you to cultivate connections that truly matter while letting go of those that no longer serve you. As you reflect on your relationships, remember the wisdom of Epictetus. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. By prioritizing quality over quantity, you create space for deeper connections, greater peace, and a life aligned with your highest values. So, take a moment to consider who in your life helps you become the best version of yourself, and who might be holding you back. The answers may lead you to a more fulfilling and balanced life. Number 9. Create a supportive circle. Creating a supportive circle is not about the quantity of people in your life, but the quality of those relationships. It's about surrounding yourself with individuals who inspire, uplift, and challenge you to grow. In Stoic philosophy, the people you choose to spend your time with have a profound influence on your character, your mindset, and ultimately your destiny. Have you ever noticed how much easier it is to stay focused on your goals when you're surrounded by people who share your values and support your journey? The wisdom of the Stoics reminds us that a supportive circle isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. This doesn't mean seeking out perfect people. It means seeking those who are aligned with your principles and who bring out the best in you, even in challenging moments. Building a supportive circle starts with knowing yourself. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Your inner world reflects outwardly, so before you can attract the right people, you must first define your own values and goals. What do you stand for? What kind of life are you trying to create? Once you have this clarity, you'll find it easier to recognize the people who complement your journey. These are the friends, mentors, and partners who don't just agree with you, but challenge you to stay on the path of integrity, growth, and wisdom. Their presence becomes a mirror, reflecting your strengths and holding you accountable for your weaknesses. When was the last time you truly examined your circle and asked yourself if it's helping you become the person you want to be? A supportive circle is more than just a group of people you call friends. It's a dynamic network of relationships that nourish your well-being, whether through encouragement, shared goals, or simply the joy of being understood. Think about a great athlete or entrepreneur. Behind every success story is a team of people who believed in them and supported their vision. Even in history, the Stoics surrounded themselves with like-minded individuals. Marcus Aurelius had Rusticus, who guided his philosophical growth, and Epictetus had students who spread his teachings. Who are the people in your life who fulfill this role? And equally important, are you playing that role for someone else? A supportive circle is reciprocal. It thrives on the mutual exchange of care, wisdom, and encouragement. But creating a supportive circle requires discernment. Not everyone is meant to be part of your inner circle, and that's okay. Seneca advised, "Remove yourself far from the company of people who make you feel unworthy or feed your insecurities." It's crucial to evaluate whether certain relationships are helping you grow or holding you back. Are there people in your life who drain your energy or consistently bring negativity? While it's not always easy, stepping away from toxic relationships creates space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. Remember, a supportive circle doesn't mean agreeing with everyone all the time. It means engaging in relationships where mutual respect and growth are the foundation. When you approach relationships with this mindset, you attract people who align with your values and challenge you in the best possible way. Modern life often complicates our ability to create a truly supportive circle. Social media and constant connectivity can give the illusion of closeness while masking the lack of depth in many of our relationships. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through your contacts or social media friends and realizing how few people you could actually turn to for real support? This realization isn't meant to discourage you, but to inspire action. Building a supportive circle may mean taking intentional steps to connect with others, whether by joining communities that align with your interests, seeking out mentors, or simply reaching out to someone you admire. It's not about waiting for the right people to find you. It's about taking ownership of your relationships and making conscious choices about who you allow into your life. A supportive circle also thrives on trust and vulnerability. Stoicism teaches us to maintain composure and self-reliance, but it also acknowledges the importance of sharing burdens with those we trust. Epictetus said, "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master." This applies to relationships as well. To receive support, you must also be willing to give it. Are you open with the people in your life, or do you hold back out of fear of judgment? A supportive circle isn't just about what you receive. It's about creating a space where others feel safe to be themselves as well. By fostering trust and openness, you deepen your relationships and build a foundation of mutual support that can withstand life's challenges. Ultimately, a supportive circle is about alignment. Alignment with your values, your goals, and the kind of life you want to create. It's about choosing people who elevate your thinking, encourage your growth, and remind you of your potential when you forget it yourself. It's also about showing up as that kind of person for others. As you reflect on your relationships, ask yourself, who in your life inspires you to be better? Who challenges you to grow? And who might you need to let go of to make space for the connections that truly matter? Remember, as Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Surround yourself with people who paint your life with clarity, strength, and purpose, and watch as your journey becomes richer and more fulfilling. Number 10. Learn during solitude. Learning during solitude is not just about passing time. It's about unlocking the depth of your mind, discovering truths about yourself, and cultivating skills that will serve you for a lifetime. Solitude is often misunderstood in modern society, which tends to glorify constant connection and social validation. But Stoic philosophy teaches us that solitude is not a void. It's an opportunity, a space for growth, reflection, and learning. When was the last time you sat with your own thoughts without distraction? How often do you give yourself the gift of quiet, uninterrupted time to think, to read, or to simply be? Solitude is where some of the greatest minds in history found clarity and inspiration, and it's where you too can learn not just about the world but about your true self. The Stoics valued solitude as a tool for self-improvement and wisdom. Marcus Aurelius often retreated into his thoughts, reflecting on his actions, his decisions, and the nature of life itself. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea forms the foundation of learning during solitude. By focusing on what is within your control, your thoughts, your reactions, your growth, you can transform moments of loneliness into moments of profound discovery. Solitude allows you to step away from the noise of the world and ask yourself important questions. What truly matters to me? Am I living in alignment with my values? What can I do to improve myself today? These questions, explored in the stillness of solitude, can lead to answers that change your life. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, solitude is becoming increasingly rare, and many people fear it. But the truth is, solitude is a powerful antidote to the chaos of modern life. Think about the times when you felt overwhelmed by endless notifications, emails, or social obligations. Did you find clarity or just more stress? Solitude gives you the chance to step back, recharge, and refocus. Many great leaders and innovators throughout history have understood this. For example, Albert Einstein famously said, "The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." Whether you're seeking inspiration, solving a problem, or simply trying to find peace, solitude creates the conditions for your mind to work at its best. Learning during solitude isn't limited to self-reflection. It's also about acquiring new knowledge and skills. When you're alone, free from distractions, you have the perfect opportunity to focus deeply on what interests you. Reading, journaling, or exploring a new hobby can all be ways to make solitude productive and enriching. Epictetus advised, "Only the educated are free. Use your time in solitude to educate yourself, to expand your horizons, and to become a person of greater depth and understanding." Whether it's studying philosophy, learning a new language, or simply reading a book that challenges your perspective, the quiet moments of solitude allow you to absorb and process knowledge in a way that hurried, multitasking environments do not. Solitude also provides the perfect environment for creative thinking. When your mind is free from the distractions of conversations, social media, and daily responsibilities, it has room to wander, explore, and connect ideas in new ways. Many of history's most brilliant thinkers, from Leonardo da Vinci to Nikola Tesla, credited their solitary moments as the source of their most groundbreaking ideas. For you, this might mean coming up with a solution to a lingering problem, brainstorming ideas for a project, or simply gaining a new perspective on a situation you've been stuck on. How often do you allow yourself the time and space for this kind of creative thinking? And what might you discover if you did? But learning during solitude isn't just about intellectual growth. It's also about emotional and spiritual development. When you're alone, you have the chance to confront your emotions, process your experiences, and cultivate a sense of inner peace. Seneca said, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." Solitude allows you to focus on the quality of your life by helping you understand your feelings, let go of what no longer serves you, and build resilience. It's in these quiet moments that you can practice gratitude, forgiveness, and acceptance, all of which are essential for emotional well-being. One of the most valuable lessons you can learn during solitude is self-reliance. In a world that often measures worth by the size of one's social circle or network, solitude teaches you that your value comes from within. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you become less dependent on others for validation or fulfillment. This doesn't mean isolating yourself. It means finding strength and contentment in yourself so that your relationships become a choice rather than a necessity. Marcus Aurelius reminded us, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Solitude gives you the time and space to become the person you want to be, independent of external influences. Learning during solitude is not just a practice, it's a gift you give yourself. It's a chance to reflect, to grow, and to prepare yourself for the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. As you embrace solitude, remember that it's not about being alone, it's about being with yourself. It's about turning inward to find the strength, wisdom, and clarity that can guide you through life. So, the next time you find yourself in a quiet moment, resist the urge to fill it with noise or distractions. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn in this moment? What steps can I take to become the person I aspire to be? The answers you find in solitude may surprise you, and they may just change your life. To conclude, embracing the Stoic perspective can transform how we view solitude and friendships, reminding us that a small circle of meaningful connections is a source of strength, not weakness. By focusing on depth over quantity, we not only enrich our relationships but also foster personal growth and inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius taught, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let this be a reminder that solitude is not a void, but a space for self-discovery and clarity. If this resonated with you, consider how these principles can apply to your own life. How have solitude or meaningful relationships shaped your journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below using the word empowerment, and let us know your perspective. Don't forget to subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights on living a purposeful and resilient life.